Hope everybody's doing well. Great to have the guys back in the building. It's only been 3 or 4 days, but it feels like it's been a long time since we got a chance to see them. I feel a little bit about the same way with you guys too. Huge week here, obviously, as we push forward to Kentucky. Good football team. They played extremely well at home, and a huge test for us to go on the road. Night ball game should be a great environment, one that our kids are looking forward to. I mentioned it last week. A big part of it was just getting our guys healthy. I think we made some progress in that way during the bye week, and looking forward to getting back on the field with the guys tomorrow and building towards game week. For our staff, the end of last week, a great opportunity for us to get out across the state and really throughout our recruiting footprint, and it was a huge thing for us. Excited about the feedback that we got, just as you get on the road and from fans, alumni, and then obviously as we got into high schools and talking with coaches too, they see the progress that our program's making, the way that we're playing, and the product that we're putting out on the field, and obviously I think they have a great sense of who we are and what we're doing inside of the building too, and how all those things build to a great experience while you're playing here at Tennessee. So excited about what we did last week. And, for us now, at this point now, it's push forward and get ready for Kentucky. So with that, I'll open it up to some questions from you guys.
Questions? We'll start with that.
Yeah, Josh, some teams play their best at the end of the year. Other teams struggle at the end of the year. Aside from the obvious factor, depth, what other factors determine if a team plays better at the end of the year?
Yeah, your ability to maintain your competitive spirit. That's not just on the field on game day, but it's your practice habits. It's how you're doing everything in your lead up to kickoff. Your depth, the health of your football team can play a part in that. But I think it's important for our football team to really stay focused on the things that you can control, continue to get better. We pointed out from the last ball game ways that all of us can be better coaches and players alike. Last week, I thought, our practice habits were really good when we were on the field in the meeting room. We got to get back into our routine and continue to grow.
And you've seen a lot of your guys now through a number of games. What's your philosophy of late in the year of narrowing things in terms of your scheme and just perfecting what you've already done versus expanding it?
Well, I think a lot of what your scheme involves every single week is predicated based on, personnel that you're seeing on the other side of the football and the scheme that you're seeing. And so you're trying to put your kids in a position to be successful. There's things that are a huge part of your DNA that you're going to find ways to run offensively, defensively, and special teams every single week. And then subtly you got to find the nuances that you need to put your kids in the best position to be successful as you get ready to play every week.
Coach, do you have any kind of
preference as to when an ideal bye week is in the season, or is that kind of just something that you handle and approach year by year basis?
You handle it based on them giving it to you. You don't have control over it. I think it came out at a pretty good time for us. You're 2/3 of the way through the season. You guys know that we were banged up at certain positions in particular. There's an opportunity for us to get healthy and move forward.
Wes, then Austin?
Josh, I know you say all the time that football's sort of a 12 or 13 one-week seasons, but is there a party as a coach when you play an opponent that just did not have it's a pretty good team and it just didn't have a good week? Is there a party that thinks, I bet that's not going to happen again, I bet they're going to come back and be better than that? Yeah, we know that Kentucky's a really good football team. Got a chance to watch some video on them last week. Obviously, our kids started today, kind of refresh the course, and we'll have to push in a great way. Know the product that they're going to put out there. They're big, strong, athletic, physical. They know their schemes offensively and defensively extremely well. Got out to a good start the other night, didn't finish it the way that they wanted to. Know that we're going to get a great effort from them. It's going to be a great environment, great competitive environment. And we got to be, excited and physically and mentally ready to go compete for 60 minutes.
How would you break down their defensive front? And maybe is there someone you can compare them to? And then everybody's always trying to simulate crowd noise, playing with a wet ball.
Yep.
How do you simulate cold? Because it's supposed to be cold Saturday night. Do you feel like the morning practices, because it's cold when you get out there in the morning, it helps you instead of practicing at 4 o'clock in the afternoon when it's the warmest part of the day?
Yeah, temperature for us is something that our kids get exposed to here the last couple of weeks in particular. of being out in some chilly weather. Should be fairly similar to what we see at the beginning of kickoff on Saturday night. You talk about the experience up front. Your kids got to know it. You got to be the most excited team on the football field, and no matter what the elements are, man, you got to be ready to go compete. It's why during spring ball we're outside every single day. When elements hit, we try to get out of them, out inside of them, whether it's rain, whatever it might be, to make sure that your kids get those experiences. Our kids will be ready to handle the cold here this week. Up front, defensively, multiple in what they do, 3 and 4 down fronts. I think they're extremely thick in the middle of it. Their nose tackle is going to be a massive guy that's hard to move, whether that's the 1 or the 2. They're strong and long out on the edges of that front as well. And for us, being on the same page, being able to move and change the line of scrimmage, our double teams are going to have to be really good during the course of this football game.
Eric?
At receiver, Robinson, it looks like he's got about 30 more receptions than anybody else on the team. They like to go to him a lot. Have you seen anything from him and maybe why that's the case in that offense?
Well, they're going to target him or try to target him just because of his skill set. Extremely fast, reliable as far as catching the football, creates a bunch of explosive plays. He's able to do that with some short and intermediate passes, screen game, and then some isolations out on the outside. He's somebody that we got to know where he's at the entire game.
Rob?
Coach, Hayden has gone from a guy who wasn't even your starter in August to now, he's popping up on the NFL draft boards. You've obviously coached some guys that played in the league before. What are those people seeing that is driving his reputation there?
I think consistency in the way that he's played throughout the course of the season, his ability to get better every single week, his efficiency at the quarterback position, for the most part, he's taking great care of the football, been accurate, short, intermediate, and deep throws. His ability to use his feet, all those factors, compile and give him an opportunity to have an opportunity at some point to have a career at the next level too.
Back to Adam.
Are you disappointed that Harrison Bailey made his decision during the season, and what's the plan at number 3 quarterback if needed?
Yeah, Harrison's been a really good teammate inside of our program from the time that I've gotten in here. In some ways disappointed that the timing of when he makes that decision. It's a different era in college athletics with the transfer portal, over the last couple of years. And because of who he is and what he has been about, I love both the person and the player. Wish him a ton of success as he moves on.
Back to Rob.
Coach, do you know yet about the status of the guys who have been out, Cade, Elijah, Tyon? Is it too early to say?
I don't want to say anything concrete at this moment. I do think all of those guys are leaning towards having the opportunity to play. We gave most of those guys the bulk of the time off last week. Seeing those guys back in the building today, moving around a little bit. We'll find out more when we get on the field here Tuesday, Wednesday, but I think those guys will have an opportunity to play.
Just to follow up on Adam's question, who do you get ready for that number 3 spot in case you need to go down there?
Yeah, all of our walk-on quarterbacks will be competing for that. Did last week, and we'll do that this week too.
Other questions for Coach?
Man, short and sweet today. You guys have a great afternoon.